Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us. Before we officially kick off the panel, let me introduce myself and ask every panelist to give a very brief intro about themselves or their organization. My name is Lee, and I'm a partner at UB Capital, and I'm also a venture partner at Husky Capital.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nikolai Oreshkin. I'm a managing partner of Elysium Venture Capital. We currently manage two funds. We invest across different industries, including blockchain and AI. We have some portfolio companies that already get listed. Around 5 of our first fund portfolio companies already traded publicly on NASDAQ. And now we manage two funds, invest in early stage companies and growth stage companies. We invest from our second fund. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, this is Chichi. So I'm partner at AIxWeb3. AIxWeb3, we're based in New York, and we have some people working here in Silicon Valley. We manage over 500 million. We are now managing our fund 3. And then we are pretty early investors into many quite well-known projects. And our LPs are some of the pension funds, some of the endowment funds, and Fidelity, and also some well-known tech people out there in Asia. I've been in crypto for 7 years, and would love to meet in person out there and then chat more about your projects. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Vinayak. I currently work at Aptos Labs, where I do business development and investments. Before that, I was an investor at Fundamental Labs, which is one of the portfolio companies of CTH Group, one of the organizers of today. And prior to that, I spent 5.5 years at Facebook, where I worked on the gaming platform and advertising team. So very excited to meet all of you later today and speak with this wonderful group of panelists.
Thank you, thank you. I think for our first question, we need to look back a little bit about the history of AI, when it started off from the Turing time and then probably AlphaGo moment, which first time the AI beat the human champion, and then the iPhone moment in the November 2022. So there are several waves in the AI history, and the same thing is happening in the Web3 AI too. So I'm pretty sure some of the projects will ring a bell in the mind, like Singular Net, Fetch AI, and then BitTensor, but most recently like a new project like Jinsen, Ritual, Sentient, Pin AI. It's very similar, so there are several waves. But how will you describe the evolution about the narratives of the Web3 AI projects? And there are always two elements, crypto and AI in our industry. What strategy do you think is the best way to integrate or balance the two elements? Who want to take the lead?
Yeah, I'll give a bit of an alternative history to this that I think might be starting us off hot. So coming from the gaming industry, a lot of people don't actually know this, but AI in its current form has existed for about 25, 30 years and been a very, very core facet of how games are actually developed. And that's not something that is often ubiquitous with one another, right? But every time that you play a game and you play against a computer, that's an artificial intelligence script that was written by the developer to predict the gamer's movement and actions, to then react accordingly across various scales of difficulty. So when we think about a history of this, right, before ChatGPT even reached the mass markets, we've had a multi-billion-dollar industry that's adopted a lot of this technology. Now, nothing that the gaming industry has done has quite resulted in autonomous intelligence. I'm not claiming that. But I think seeing AI develop from a consumer lens in gaming has really shaped what I think it can do for the industry as a whole, right? And with ChatGPT coming out, I think that was as you said, the iPhone moment, right? For where it reached mass market adoption in ways that really explained what the profound implications of this technology are. And I think we're still beginning to understand that. in really novel ways.
Cool, cool.
I completely agree with Vina, but I see a little bit different perspective. If we take, let's say, history lesson and let's say look at the centuries back in the ancient centuries where gold had a lot of value and people's time or even life were not treated as way as it is today. So there were slavery, there were a lot of seniors and kings and emperors and so forth. So kind of gold dominated over time. And with the technology trend that happens in 20th century, we see that money is time, or time is money, and it's kind of equalized. So now we see that some regular workers have a base rate of like $10, $15 per hour if it's like base worker. If it is a lawyer, he may have a rate of $500 an hour or $1,000 an hour. So it kind of equalized. Time is money, or money is time. But with the trend and development of artificial intelligence and social networks, we see that the human's time now dominates over money. And what it means that, let's say, in 20th century, all the technology trends, what we try to achieve was to automate things. And with the development of internet, it helped actually a lot. So we automated a lot of things, and businesses start working completely different. And with electricity, happened the same way. And that is a famous quote that artificial intelligence changing the world the same way as electricity did or as internet did. But now it's boosted by the combination of decentralized world in the future. So now we see, and now we are entering the paradigm shift from the delegation tasks towards the automation tasks. So we don't want to just automate some of the business processes inside of the technology companies. We want to automate them completely, make them autonomous in the way so we can delegate certain industry and certain tasks. And I believe that's still a huge step toward artificial general intelligence. But now already we see that a lot of businesses they evolve in the way to run more efficiently, utilizing artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so back to the question about what's the primary driving force of which one is either AI or Web3. I definitely cannot pick one of them. I think they are, growing together. Just take the example of computing power, decentralized computing power, network platforms. You do need to have, the AI development in order to have more people need more and more computing power, but you also need the decentralized tokenomics, decentralized token distribution to allow users, to allow people to contribute and to have the incentive to join the game. And then especially AI needs a lot, like tons of compute power and also tons of data. Which many of the users out there, especially the individuals, they cannot afford. So that means by having decentralized solutions, we enable average or users from developing areas, able to join the game, able to move the AI revolution much faster than how we can expect it.
Thank you. So for the next question, since everyone on this panelist are investors or used to be investors, so we will talk about investment. So we've noticed a lot of Web3 AI projects, they raise significant amount of capitals at a relatively higher valuations. So where do you see them in the entire landscape of the ecosystem? And have you seen any of them, reach a product market fit, or even I learned a new word. It's called product fit ever. And maybe if you want, share some rationale behind your investment decisions.
Yeah, what I believe the benefit of the current trend and with the evolution of Web3 and blockchain keeps the data immutable and auditable by anyone. And the way how AI can contribute the current trend of Web3, that AI solves tasks in the different way, in the most efficient way. So what we've seen, let's say, recent Y Combinator batches. We didn't do much investment in the last year because in YC company batches, because what we've seen, there is a very high competition among the companies that are targeting the same problems. And while I do believe that it's a huge advantage for the industry, but a lot of people talk about the product market fit. But from the venture capital perspective, it's much more important to notice founder market fit. And founder market fit is where you see that the company founder is really on the right place to deliver the great technology company. And while we can ask ChatGPT or Google many resources what will be the upcoming trends into the AI evolution and so forth, but from the venture capital perspective, it's much more important to find the proper team who can execute and deliver proper vision and has abilities to deliver that. And another way that I wanted to also, another thing that I wanted to touch is that you've seen that crazy amount of funding that been allocated into the AI industry in general. And from my perspective, I see that it's became at some point capital play rather than technology play, because a lot of competitive companies targeting the same. We already identified the problem, and they are targeting the same market and the same niche. But at the end of the day, venture capital it's a speculative play. We invest in a company with a valuation, let's say 10 million or 100 million, and we have an expectation to receive 100x or maybe more. And the way to do it is to make sure that the company will grow in terms of the market capitalization. And market capitalization is boosted by other VCs. So let's say company fundraise from angel investors, then they do some technology, and let's say even if you invest in SaaS enterprise, it's a multiple driven. So let's say company is making $10 million a year, 10 million ARR, the multiple, let's say 10 to 15, then the company value like 100 million. But if you launch a Web3 AI company, you can be valued as a first round as like $500 million company because of the market potential, because of the trend, because of your access to the capital and the hunger from the venture capital world. And I believe that it's a bit tricky because we need to be mindful to the real upcoming trend, and we need to see the actual growth potential. And now access to the money from the founders actually solves one very crucial problem, and this is crucial problem is to hire more talented people. So if the company has access to the capital and can fundraise, then they can hire or rehire more talented people, and then invest more in PR and marketing, and increase their capitalization, make VCs also happier. That is broken, unfortunately. I see that the problem here exists, but it is what it is now.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. I need to read disclaimer from Hack VC. All the opinion just my own and do not represent those of Hack VC. So which means I also cannot really share our investments. But if you are curious, please follow us on Twitter, and then you can see the updates from our portfolio companies. But then at least what I can say is we cover pretty much all the categories in the Web3/AI market. We're just really in this game, and we cover pretty much from computing platforms to data, including data labeling, including access to public data, and also from privacy to edge AI, personalized AI, etc. So we definitely are very interested into those, very fundamental infrastructure projects. Also, definitely, we are also interested into application, especially the more like user, to the user application. But then this is we're being a little bit slower on this side, and then especially we are very surprised. Like for many of the deals we've been talking to, some of them, even if we didn't make the decision to invest, but some of them already signed contract with over like $10 million, with some other business, the traditional, like not really traditional, but like other AI companies, they are able to to get a contract, and then with like real income. That's very surprising. But then for Hack VC, being able to have revenue, to have income, but also we pay a lot of attention to the team. So there are a lot of products out there can be really good market fit, but then it's really the thing matters the most is the team. So for example, after we invested into IO.net, we received over like 40-50 deck, similar, like super similar idea, and then they're basically doing the same thing. It's just the base of the team, the background of the team members, and also where they get the computing power. So I would say really like for us being able to pick the strongest team, it's the work we've been doing the most. So product definitely it's important, but I would say it's what matters the most is really the team.
Yeah, totally. I think just this part about the team and individuals is one that I don't mean to beat a record or sound like a broken record, but I think that's one of the most important things, right? Like especially being in the Web3 space and investing in the Web3 space, right? Character is very important, and the biggest thing that I look at is the credibility of the founder and what the founder's backgrounds are. You do not need a PhD in artificial intelligence or autonomous intelligence from Stanford to go successfully fundraise. That definitely helps, don't get me wrong. But you just need to have a solid understanding of what the technology is, what problems you're going to solve, and how your technology is ultimately going to achieve that product market fit. To go back to your question about profit market fit, I think is the phrase you used. I actually I'm going to steal that. I haven't seen that yet, candidly.
It's from a discussion from the BTC ecosystem. Those developers are already talking about profit.
Right, yeah. And other than traditional SaaS models that are applied to existing AI technologies, I haven't seen like a novel use case or a novel business model yet. And that's what I'm actually kind of excited to see is, okay, how are companies going to monetize differently, right? And if it's just a SaaS model, then fine, right? But that's what I'm waiting to see, like who's going to come up with that new business model that's kind of what Salesforce did with software and enterprise software. What is that next evolution? So that's one thing I'm very excited to personally learn about myself.
Thank you. Totally agree. It is all about finding the right people to execute his idea. Okay, but we still need to explore about the use case or landscape. We see a lot of deals in decentralized computation powers, try to do decentralized training, inference, or different AI agent marketplace. But as an investor, do you think there is a missing piece, like a critical one in this big picture?
I believe that it's a bit trendy, and let's say today we've seen a lot of companies who are pitching AI agents or marketplace for AI agents. And yesterday it was another different wrapper or LLM wrapper. And you know, it is very hard to stand out when the market is so crowded, when a lot of companies tackling the same space. What actually excites me, and I'm just wondering for myself, let's say now we see one of the leading, dominating company in the GPU world. NVIDIA is like taking, NVIDIA capitalization is larger than the entire stock exchange in UK, right? And it's a bit suspicious. And I believe that there'll be new players who will share the market alongside with NVIDIA, who will provide the more powerful and efficient computational technologies and chips encrypted in a smart way. And I believe that, you know, 10 years ago, no VCs wanted to invest it in hardware. Just because hardware is hard, and it's hard to scale, it's hard to deliver, and math logics is like much more complicated to execute compared to the software companies. And now it's time for AI companies. But I wanted to kind of go against the trend in our venture capital firm. We are exploring some other chip companies that potentially can deliver powerful computation and deliver high performance chips, maybe even quantum computing that will kind of a little bit shift the focus only from the dominant player. Another good trends that we're actively looking at is on the intersection between AI and the current technology trends, such as, let's say, edtech or fintech. Well, fintech, what's happening in fintech just in general, we see, and it happens like for the last 20 years, we have also 3 dominant players on the, not only in the US market, but probably in the world that build all the innovations. Those are JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, and Wells Fargo, and they have variety of services and variety of applications to be used, but all of them are chunky and complicated to use. And then there were a race of neobanks and crypto banks and other services. So, you know, it's very easy to make things complicated. But I believe the next investment trend is to make complicated things easy to use. And with the tools even provided by OpenAI APIs, it is a simple task. And I believe we'll see another set of multi-billion-dollar companies that will just utilize the current already existing technologies and build it to the mass of enterprises. And that is what Silicon Valley is famous for, because Silicon Valley, you know, a lot of people think of Silicon Valley that everything was invented in Silicon Valley. The most powerful chip, the first microchip, the internet was invented in Silicon Valley, the social network, the largest software company, the largest hardware company, everything is in Silicon Valley. But in fact, all of these are not true, because Silicon Valley never had the largest hardware or software company. Chips were not invented here, but Silicon Valley played a crucial role to popularize it and to deliver to the mass. So, and it's a difference between invention and innovation. So all the innovation happens actually here in Silicon Valley, but not inventions. Inventions happen in other places. So I believe the trend for the new upcoming trend for new companies is to take the existing technologies and tackle different market. Let's say edtech. And we have one portfolio company, they are public portfolio company. They grew up in valuation on 300%, more than 300% over the last year. It's an edtech company named AppLovin. It's NASDAQ listed. The founder is my neighbor in Palo Alto. Very successful company, very good company. And what they do, they piggyback on trend of deliver efficient ads between the mobile applications. And they utilize the trend of AI. So they build an engine, AI engine, that make ads run more efficiently. And that's a perfect use case. Company is valued already more than $50 billion. And same can happen in all other industries. Just find a niche and find a set of tools that can optimize this and build a company.
Cool. So my key takeaway here is to find a good neighbor in Silicon Valley.
Correct. I think just the 2 points I'll add to that, right, are just how broad of an industry that I think AI is just going to touch everything that we're all going to interface with. And the two industries that I want to harp on are both advertising and the medical field as well. So on advertising, right, in Apple and Google in 2020 basically released a set of software updates called IDFA to help protect consumer data privacy. And ultimately, this disrupted and really damaged a lot of the business models for advertising and advertising technology companies. As a result, a lot of the first-party data that they would collect to then deliver advertisements was now no longer available. And so companies like Facebook, AppLovin, and a lot of these other companies used artificial intelligence to enhance their predictive models of what users would like what type of content and ads. And they've since now returned to the point of where the ads that they can deliver are just as good, if not slightly a bit worse than what it was when they had access to this first-party data. And this has all happened in the span of 18 months since this technology was deployed. Well, probably a bit longer, but that's the speed that we're talking about, right? Which is just nuts to think about. And second, on the medical field, this is one that I'm actually personally very excited about, right? I'm not a doctor, I don't have a PhD in medicine, but I think for the medical field, right, just seeing what pharmaceutical companies and companies that focus on therapeutics, how they can use AI to basically run predictive models on whether a molecule or whether a compound is going to be successful or not, that's so profound. Because right now, the biggest time constraint to getting a drug to market is the time it takes to get to clinical and human trials, right? And if you can speed up that process to where you have, with as much certainty from the models that you've run, assisted by AI, think about how many more drugs we can get to market that can ultimately save lives or find new cures for diseases that we just didn't know, right? So I don't know. I mean, I think like we're prone to negativity all too often, but I think that's one of the stories that really makes me excited about the future and what this technology can unlock. And tying in Web3 to both of those, I think is going to be something that's very crucial. Because going back to advertising, right, we are now seeing a surge in consent-based advertising networks where users can opt in to have their data shared and thus receive a portion of the advertising revenue that's given to the network. That is a new trend that I think is going to take off in great ways, and that's all done via tokenized reward mechanisms on the blockchain. The data that the user then contributes is then put on chain, it's completely visible, and they have control over what's shared and what isn't. So those are the two things I'm actually the most excited about in that, probably in reverse order. So.
Yeah, so I don't really see like obvious missing piece here or pieces here. I mean, I've seen, because I mean, as a VC, we receive decks every single day, and then to be honest, like there are tons of different ideas, and there's no lack of ideas. It's just really about how to execute and to have mass adoptions. For example, like here's a really, I mean, at least for me, like a very interesting story. I was chatting with the early investor of Didi, which is the Chinese version of Uber. And then after Uber, after Didi, which they raised like $100 million back in China, they hire like hundreds of salesperson. They send those salesperson to the biggest cities and to get them to really get drivers, to really get users, to really get real users who will use this app to order taxes. So that's the thing, right? Like you see all those really big crypto companies, they raise 10, 20, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars. But then they hire like salesperson. They also do have people, they do have users, they do have community. If you go to their Telegram or Discord, you can see, I don't know, millions of subscribers. But then still, we don't really see mass adoption. I do think there's a missing piece here. Like we don't see effective way to get people who don't understand crypto that well to use them. Sometimes it's really not about technology, because I've seen some really good apps. Like I don't even know I'm using a crypto app. It is, right? It is a crypto app, and then they exist. Even like back in 2017, I see some products like that. They all failed, or they launched a token, they just disappear. So yeah, I think that's the major issue here.
Yeah, I hear you all. Mass adoption is what we are looking for. Cool. I think our next question will be much more interesting. So how many of you have hold meme coin? Raise your hand. Whoa, okay. How many of you have ever heard of Terminal of Truths or ACT, Terminal of Truths? How many of you? None? Oh, cool. So this is actually a new kind of trendy things, AI meme. So they combine AI agent together with the meme coin. So now AI agent, they can issue tokens and also trading tokens. So that's very amazing. So can you share a little bit if you have any thoughts or insights about where it could potentially lead us to? Or do you think it's a fad, or it can be a long-lasting thing?
I'll give the shortest answer. I just don't know enough to comment. So I'm actually interested to learn more from the other panelists.
Okay, I do buy meme coins, and I follow them quite a lot. I feel shame about it. I shouldn't. Yeah, because as a VC investor, like professional investor, you really should, do something more valuable. But like with my personal assets, I do think, meme coins, it's just something really fun. It's just interesting. Like whenever people chat about, I lose money, I do, but then I still like sometimes, those are, some new tokens, especially like Trump related, I don't know, I just, there are tons.
It's okay, Chichi, I play Candy Crush in my spare time, so it's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, I think definitely meme coin will always exist, like will always, because as long as you have people who love gambling, as long as you have people who can take the risk, and they are in this internet community, they create this niche, terms, or they are in this niche community, they are looking for things to play with. And then, the funny thing is you cannot stop them. Even the regulators, they just cannot stop them. So they will always exist. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
While we are quite successful as a VC firm, so our ROI from the venture capital perspective is pretty decent. We triple our first fund, but as individual investors, as a crypto investor, I'm very bad. I'm very bad because most of my Bitcoins I sold at $10 a piece, and I've been buying a lot of crazy stuff, meme coins and shit coins and all other things, and I've been constantly hacked. I've been losing crypto every other year. I forgot my laptop in a car, and the car got smashed in San Francisco, and it was a temporary wallet that I just created on at Ethereum wallet, and all the keys are kind of gone. I'm still very optimistic about the ecosystem in general. For me, I treat all those coins since the days as a kind of as a virtual currency, as a game, some kind of game currencies. And somewhere we lose, somewhere we do smart investment and we return capital and we're happy with that. Let's say when someone gifted me CryptoKitty, I didn't even know what is that. And I bought another one to give to another friend, and I somehow forgot to to gift it, or he canceled his birthday, and then this CryptoKitty kind of made me $1 million. And I thought, well, it's not bad, not bad. In many ways, from the technology perspective, we see the problems in the blockchain in this industry are still remain to be the same. It is a security, it is scalability and interoperability. And what we're trying to solve and to adopt the trend of the blockchain and piggyback of the trend of the AI technology is to bring mass adoption. And mass adoption is the problem that still exists, because not many people actually using the apps, or they try to use and they just not that useful yet. And moreover, let's say all of us, let's think of the evolution of the software or monetization of the software. Let's say 20, 30 years ago, we were paying for software. Let's say we purchase a compact disk of Microsoft Windows, and we paid for the license of Microsoft Windows or Office or Adobe. Then with the Apple release of iPhone, we started paying for applications, but major channel for monetization of mobile apps became actually ads, and most of the developers monetize their products through the advertisement in gaming industry. And gaming industry, especially mobile gaming, they were leaders and the most creative way to monetize. And many even SaaS companies just copied what games did in their industry, and used the same gaming techniques to onboard enterprise customers, and it became very successful. And later the model changed to subscription-based, and now it's what we see, let's say, in App Store, in web in general. A lot of people pay subscription, so we do not hesitate to pay like $15 for Netflix or YouTube Red or some other services. And the next trend, even for OpenAI, it is a $20 subscription or something, and you get much more sophisticated and more enhanced interface and enhanced capabilities of this mobile app. But future trend is to make some kind of collaboration tools. And let's say in Chinese market, a lot of mobile applications, they monetize because of the e-commerce, because some of the products sell some things, or because of the partnerships inside of the products. And according to the statistics of Hootsuite, people in the United States, they stop installing, let's say, mobile applications. And if people stop installing the mobile applications, how can we think that people will be using the apps? Because now it's kind of we go against the trend. If people less installing new applications, how we can assume that they discover new complicated app tools? And the way to solve it here is that we see another trend of super apps. And let's say Chinese market were leader in showcasing those super apps, such as WeChat in Tencent. And we see that same happens in other mobile messengers, such as WhatsApp and Telegram, because those are platforms not only for messaging anymore, but those platforms that feature their own marketplaces of applications and utilize tools. So if you are a developer and of particular service or tool, it's much easier to promote it with the collaboration of Messenger or other existing mobile applications than to feature them on the App Store or in web, because the competition now is just furious, and it doesn't make sense to go against the trend.
Thank you. I appreciate the honesty from you guys. And Nikolai, believe me, you are not alone in regards of your personal trading strategy. So to wrap up this panel, one last question is, I think as a person who work in tech, I believe you also use like an AI product on a daily basis. For me, I use Perplexity every day right now. So can you recommend or introduce one of your favorite like AI product or Web3 AI product which change your life, improve your life, like in a very meaningful way?
Yeah,
Who want to go first?
I can start. I mean, in the most simplest of forms, I actually bought a new Copilot PC. Have you all heard of that? Microsoft's new Copilot specifically built PCs, and it has a dedicated hardware button to launch the Copilot agent within Windows. And I thought that would be a trend or a fad. I literally use Copilot every single day now as a result. Just the simplicity of not having to open up my browser, go to ChatGPT, or open up another app, just having a button to give me one-stop access to my own personal assistant, essentially. It's groundbreaking in so many different ways. So that's why I'm very excited to see how Apple Intelligence actually takes off, because not only is that going to give you direct access on your phone, but the simplicity of accessing it is going to be incredible. On this, right, like just what it's done for me from a personal assistant standpoint, it made me realize how much I relied on Google search to basically help me find answers to things. And this is something that I'm actually very interested to see, is how these various AI companies are going to eat at search markets and take away from Google's market cap or Bing's market cap, and if that actually happens. I don't know, I don't have a definitive answer to say if it will or not. But just if I'm one use case and I'm now using Google less and less every day as a result, imagine that at scale. That's what gets me kind of excited about this.
Yeah, sure. So I'm pretty sure every one of you here use all kinds of apps, AI apps, or like Web3/AI apps. If I can share something useful here, I just really want to warn you guys that there are hackers out there. They're targeting crypto people. So I recently got hacked, and I'm suffering so much from it. I need to change all my passwords. I need to erase my laptop. It's just tons of work. So recently there are hackers, like really, I've heard so many stories. I have so many friends got hacked, and they are very active. They are from, hackers from even North Korea. They are targeting your money. So no matter what apps you're using, especially the Web3 AI apps or website, or you need to download whatever, just really be cautious out there. They're very active, and you could be hacked. Yes.
Thank you for the tips.
It's actually quite a big topic, because it's also a large problem, and especially for funds. We even had to shut down our website because all of our team members became a target for identity theft. And it's actually was quite easy to implement, especially here in California. So I switched my cell phone provider. I changed like from AT&T to Verizon, and Google Fi is so far probably the most secure and the most convenient that I use. In terms of so actually it's a large topic and very big problem. So yeah, guys, be careful and don't become a target of those bad people. In terms of the daily use tool, yeah, obviously it's a Perplexity and ChatGPT. They kind of change the workday, and it's you don't even have to write letters yourself anymore. You just delegate tasks. It's completely changed the way we use tools. And another big question was whether AI replace some stuff at the companies. And I asked some of our portfolio companies, and actually, surprisingly to me, that basic tools of, let's say, ChatGPT were used not by junior staff, but by senior staff. So it's kind of make their work more efficient. So it's the first adopters of using the artificial intelligence became these senior people at the companies rather than junior. So I believe that's that's a huge progress that we are witnessing now.
Thank you everyone.
Sorry,
for the
one
time.
last thing.
Sorry.
There's a fake me on Telegram. Don't reply or don't click anything.
No worry. At HashQ, we noticed there are multiple DCs, like millions of DC on Telegram. Okay.
All set?
Okay. Thank you.